Welcome to the Goth and the Sloth. I'm your Sloth, Matt.
And I'm Luna the Goth.
This is the podcast of two friends living a country apart, living our best lives, and getting into trouble. I guess. We decided to take the first part of our podcast and discuss the COVID-19 pandemic, how it affects your lives, how it affects our lives, and chronicle our lives throughout, as well as weird political upheaval that's also happening at the same time as a major pandemic.
Yep, as you do.
So much craziness, we had to chronicle it.
Yeah, and it just keeps going.
Yeah. It's a new year, but same old crap.
Yep. Happy New Year, by the
Yes,
way.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
2020's over, but feel like it just begun again.
Yeah, I mean, there's no I'm just kind of tepidly telling people Happy New Year, but let's not get too excited. Cool?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm trying to plan out like my vacation and stuff, and I'm like, well, vacation in quotes because I'm not still probably not going to go anywhere, but it's like what, like you can't understand what the world's going to look like in the summer at this point still.
Truly anything can happen.
Yeah. If 2020 taught us anything, don't make plans because they could just get dashed in a moment's notice.
Yeah, be more like me and just live in the moment.
I can't do that.
I know you can't do that.
But let's dive into it. How is the greater Virginia area doing?
Well, we are pretty steady from last week, which is not good, but it
Yeah.
hasn't spiked more. I don't know.
It
So
hasn't gotten worse.
we have 363,765 cases. So that's 27,000 more than last week, which is
Oof.
slightly lower than last week. I think last week we were at about 30,000 more. But we just reported 5,000 cases today. So
Yikes.
I don't know.
Yay, Christmas boom.
Oh man, I don't even think we're seeing that yet.
No.
Um, and so we're at 18,310 hospitalizations. So that's about 700 more than last week. And we've had 5,124 deaths in the state. So that's about 300 more people than last week, and we still have 13 children with multisystem inflammatory syndrome in children. The big news out of Virginia this week is that State Senator Ben Chafin Jr. died on January 1st after contracting COVID-19, and he was only 60 years old. And he was like a cattle farmer before he was a politician. So it's just more bad things. And cars, apparently.
Yeah, that's a really
Exhaust
loud
pipes.
car outside my house. Jesus.
But yeah, so that was just a high profile death in Virginia. I mean, it's just like a reminder, like it's not fucking around, people.
Yep.
But I don't think they can hear us.
It's true.
um and I guess nationwide, the COVID second quote unquote stimulus check has dropped
Yeah,
for a lot of people.
I got my 600.
Um, but yeah, like I said, quote unquote stimulus, as in
Yeah.
we're trying to pay the bills that we've been owing for months.
Yeah, exactly. Mine seriously just went to all the issues I had over Christmas for my car getting stolen twice to maybe it didn't even catch me all the way back up. It just sort of helped a little.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I was paying bills and I was like, oh shit, I think because I had an additional medical bill that I was hoping to pay, and I was like, "Oh shit, I think I just overdrafted my account," and thankfully, the $600 was in there. I was like, "Oh, thank God, I can pay the rest of my bills now." Like, it's not. It's yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So how's Colorado?
Better question mark?
Okay.
We're at 339,172 cases, which is up 14,000 week to week, which is less than last week. We're at 18,678 hospitalizations, which is up 766, which is about on par from last week. And the bad news, 3,907 deaths, which is up 302 week to week.
Oh wow.
Which is
That's a lot.
way up there. So everything else is down except deaths. And we're sitting right around 6.9% positivity rate.
Oh wow.
So that's gone down.
Mhm.
But it seems like, yeah, lots transferring to deaths. On the where I get the numbers, they're saying about a confirmed 11% of all hospital beds in the entire state are COVID cases right now.
Oh wow.
So, not great. The big news coming out of Colorado is twofold. We have a confirmed case of the new strain of COVID in the state already. It is from a soldier who was deployed and has since been quarantined, so hopefully it won't start a whole spread, but we will see. Knock on wood.
Yeah, man. That yeah. That sucks.
And,
It just sucks that it's so much more contagious.
yeah.
Like, great, we weren't already dealing with a highly contagious virus, but now it's more contagious.
Now it's
Cool.
even more. Yep. And despite all those crap numbers I just gave you, we're leaning towards moving to orange protocols out of the red.
Oh,
So if that happens, my band can play a show, which I guess is nice. But I don't.
interesting.
Yeah, it seems to be a economic push rather than a safety push. Like we haven't really gotten our numbers down, but you know,
Well, the positivity rate is much lower,
yeah,
which bodes well.
yes,
I just assume that if you do go to a lower level, that positivity rate will go back up. But um, I mean, I guess you got to do what you got to do. I'm just thankful I'm not in charge of anything right
yeah,
now. That's great because it is stressful to try to balance everything.
it is. Um, so yeah, that's kind of the big news here. Um, not a whole lot else, just sort of more crap.
Yep.
So what's
Yep.
new in Luna's world?
Well, I lost a little patch of skin on my hand,
That's not
so
good.
that's new. I was at the studio training today, and I was doing some stuff that feels really difficult because I'm out of practice, but also felt good, but it also took a little chunk of my skin on my hand, which is the worst because you use your hands for everything.
Yeah.
And it's like there are all those creases in your hand. It's like in my palm.
Oh no.
It's like, ow. Every time I hold anything, thankfully it's not my dominant hand, it's my left hand, so I can avoid it probably for the most part. But like washing my hands, which I have to do all the
All the
time
time.
forever now, sucks because it's like a little stinging reminder, like, ugh. But yeah, it's fine. But ow,
You probably get a lot of the same sores, but when I played drums a lot, I would like wreck my hands where I'd hold the
probably.
sticks. And yeah, it would be like I'd like get done
That's
drumming.
probably harder because the stick is smaller. Like a
Yeah.
lot of our apparatuses, it's a bit bigger. So
Yeah, I probably got even more. But yeah, I'd just have to like hold a cold can of soda and I'd just hold it when I was done. It's like,
I don't
ah.
even want to touch a can of soda right now. Like, no, no, no. It's ouchy. What's new in your world?
Um, not a lot. Pretty plain since I can't really go anywhere. I haven't really left the house at all. So yeah, just finishing up some of the car stuff. My car's gonna be totaled, so working on getting a
Oh, will
payout.
it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
I guess that
That's
means you don't have to sell it.
yeah, no, it's actually good news. It sounds like it's not, but it is good news because I would have had to sell that car regardless. So this speeds up the
Yeah.
process. So
All right. Well,
yeah,
new car for Matt.
indeed,
Oh my god. What a friggin' saga.
it is.
Like, if nothing, hopefully in the new year you don't have to deal with that bullshit anymore.
Let's hope so. I don't know. We'll see. So let's get into what we're talking about. What are we talking about this week?
So, this week we're going to kick off 2021 by covering the two most important political events happening this week. The Georgia Senate runoff election on Tuesday, January 5th, and the Electoral College certification on January 6th.
Yeah,
So, big day, or week. Um, so let's start with the Georgia Senate runoff elections. Two seats are up for grabs in Georgia after no candidate won over 50% of the votes in the November election. Democrat John Ossoff is facing off Republican Senator David Perdue, and Democrat Raphael Warnock is facing off against Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler. The Republican senators would usually have a pretty easy road to maintaining their seats, but things are looking close, and no major network seems willing to make a prediction.
yeah.
I wonder why. I mean,
It's
I don't blame them. Polling seems to be trash, and no one can figure out how to do it anymore.
yep.
And yeah,
And
I mean
even
it's just too close anyway.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, even the polling shows it's like 2% difference, and that's not enough to like accurately go like it's definitely this person.
Yeah, and regardless, like the polls have been lying, so
Yeah.
it doesn't, even if it did say, "Oh, this person is going to win," and be like, I don't know. As if we don't need more or as if we need more stress. The answer is we do not. um, so why is this so important? You've probably already heard this, but essentially, if the Democrats win both seats, they will have 50 of the 100 seats in the U.S. Senate.
hmm
And in the case of a 50-50 tie vote, the tiebreaker goes to the vice president, who would be Kamala Harris. Therefore, winning both seats would give President elect Biden and the Democrats the ability to make changes happen more swiftly. And if the Republican main Republicans maintain the majority in the Senate, then Mitch McConnell, aka fucking zombie on wheels, uh, is and the GOP will be able to block any legislation they don't like,
Yep.
and we will have another 2 years of gridlock in DC before the next Senate election. So,
Yep.
um, it it's just it's very very important. I mean, while the
Absolutely.
situation is a like, I guess people don't generally care about politics.
Yeah.
People don't generally think about it except for every 4 years, and some people care about it every 2 years, and very few people care about it more than that.
hmm
Um, but the coronavirus pandemic has brought more attention than usual to politics in the US since government assistance is decided in Washington, D.C., and the two parties have very different ideas of what is appropriate aid and who should receive it.
Absolutely.
So everybody's kind of like biting their nails
Yeah. Yeah.
with what's going on in Georgia. It's like Georgia flipped blue for the first time in freaking forever,
Yep.
and then now they're the center of attention again. So yeah, I don't
It's
know. It's I mean, we'll have more info. I mean, this episode's going to come out on Tuesday, so we will have more information for the next episode. But yeah, I mean, in regards to the coronavirus pandemic, like, I think when I was in college, let's say, and I heard that there was a Senate runoff, whatever, in a
hmm
state, I'd be like, oh, well, I don't live in that state, so
yeah.
it doesn't matter to me.
Yep.
I don't care, whatever. But again, because of the coronavirus and the way that government works and how the Senate works, it really does matter for what could be rolled out in regards to relief for the coronavirus.
Hmm.
The Republicans are willing to provide a small amount of aid to humans, such as a $600 quote unquote stimulus check. Um, and but they also want protections for businesses so that broadly they cannot be held accountable for violations of COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
Um, Democrats, on the other hand, wanted to provide more money paid directly to people, as well as state and local aid to help localities handle the pandemic better in regards to all the public health things that they need to put in
Hmm.
place or help people with, the public programs, like basically helping the individuals, not the companies. So depending on how you feel about those things, you would vote accordingly. I'm just personally hoping for a little bit of help as a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Republicans still are set on trickle down working, and
it does
it
not
doesn't.
work.
It works in theory, much like many things, but in practice does not work.
Yeah, it
Um,
doesn't. I mean, it doesn't work in theory. Like, I guess okay, fine. It works in theory, but it's hard to say it works in theory because what is your theory that you don't live in a society? If you don't live in a society, then sure, trickle down works.
well,
But
in the
if there are humans involved,
yeah.
then no, it does not work. I mean, the numbers are there to show it, and
Oh yeah, it's been
I
proven
just
not to work. But yeah, the idea of like, you give millionaires a bit of a break and then they'll spend the money. Problem is, they don't actually spend the money. They just sit on their gold like a dragon,
yeah,
and so that
yep,
never actually trickles down to anywhere.
yep. They're not required to spend the money,
Exactly.
so they're not going to. I mean, it's yeah, it's pretty nightmarish. And in that vein, I mean, I would just encourage everyone listening to this, if you're interested, to check, like, look up the individual candidates, all four of them, look
Hmm.
up their platforms and their records and their special interests. Because, I mean, I don't believe that there's any such thing as a clean politician, but I'm not sure there's one dirtier than Kelly Loeffler.
I was gonna say I looked up a lot of stuff on her, and she's
Like,
got some.
I was shocked. Like, who she married, they own the company or whatever that runs the stock exchange. Like,
Yeah, she's the
has
richest
she's been
senator.
she's been prosecuted for like non-compliance when it comes to uh money. I don't know if it money laundering, but basically she had to pay back like $8 billion. It's We know she's bad. Why is she still a senator? What the fuck?
Yeah. On top of everything, I thought it was interesting is she's been very vocal criticizing the Black Lives Matters movement, but she
Oh yeah,
she
she
owns a
owns a
WNBA team.
WNBA.
Yeah,
Yeah, she owns a WNBA team and specifically told them basically fuck you.
yeah,
I mean, she's pretty much a monster. And I mean, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna tell people what to think. Just to look up what you need to look up, and look at your values and see who matches what,
yeah.
and what do you care about more, uh, in regards to who gets in there. Like, I it's ugh.
Oh yeah,
And the other thing is that, like, not gonna lie, kind of want to see some younger people in government.
yeah,
That'd be cool.
yeah.
Um,
Not that race, not the Kelly race, but the other one. Like the age disparity is like 20 years between the two
yeah,
people
John
running.
Ossoff is a millennial.
Yeah,
I mean, he's it's kind of great watching his campaign because it's funny. I'm like, oh, I see myself in this candidate. Like, oh, that's my generation. That's not some old person trying to tell me how I'm supposed to live my life.
yeah.
Huh,
It's
cool.
it's a weird thing because my parents are pretty active in the local Democrats and all that, but even my mom says like they're just afraid of young people. Even the Democrats are, and that's why we still get old stodgy people that no one likes. Is they're all afraid of letting someone else take charge.
Yeah, well, it's gonna have to happen at some point. So
Hopefully.
he wants to do that.
uh,
So switching gears now only slightly.
yeah.
This Wednesday, the Electoral College certification will take place in the U.S. government. So essentially, the certification is a reading of the Electoral College votes, which we know what they are.
Yep.
They elect President-elect Biden as president of the United States, and it is a formality. It is not an actual vote. So some Republican senators are saying that they will not confirm or block the certification. Um, but here's why this is just lip service. It doesn't fucking matter. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what they do. If it would take both the House and the Senate to overturn the certification of the electoral college vote, and Democrats rule the House. So there is no realistic pathway to blocking the certification.
Yeah.
As of today, we're recording on Sunday, January 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
um, the rules around the electoral college certification will be remaining the same as they have always been. Um, I guess there was an attempt to change the rules, and that's not going to happen. Several Republicans in the House have spoken out against any efforts to block the certification, but again, it doesn't matter. Don't get me wrong, this is what leadership looks like.
Yeah.
So if you see some bullshit happening in your party and you don't say anything, you're complicit. So I guess these Republicans were like, I don't want to be complicit in people trying to act against the Constitution. Um, I mean, that seems like a minimum qualification for being a politician, but
You would think so, but not
here
anymore.
we are.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple things, like you said, you won't change the rules. Not yet, at least. There's movements in place, but it wouldn't happen this election.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not going to change anything right now.
Yeah, because there is Colorado voted this last election to join a coalition of multiple states where our electorates will go to the winner of the popular vote. And
Yeah, but that's by state.
it is, and
Like,
also we have to have X amount of states join this coalition to actually be able to do it. It's a whole thing.
yeah, but as far as like the electoral college vote, it's not going to be able to be overturned by the Senate.
No,
Like
correct, yeah.
the Senate is not going to basically choose the president. The states choose the president.
Yeah.
And however the states want to choose the president is up to the states. Um but yeah, they're so the reason why this is even news at all is because because it shouldn't be. It's just a
Right.
formality. Is the reason why is because a few things. Because Mr. Dopehead up there, as the president, is like going on and on and on about how this was a fraud, blah blah blah. And his followers seem to think that because the electoral college votes haven't been certified, they still have a shot
Yeah.
at keeping him in office. Um, Newsflash, they
No.
don't. So there's a lot of talk on the social media on the interwebs in general saying that they're going to start the civil war and they're going to be in the streets and blah 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 on January 6th because they that's like their last I guess hope that somehow Trump will win the election.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't win.
He didn't.
It's over.
No.
It's over. He tried to file a bunch of suits and challenge all of these different, you know, fraud allegations, and they came up empty because there was no proof in any of the cases. Like, so it's over.
Yeah.
It's just over.
No. There's
I mean,
when Lincoln was elected, I believe it was 6 or 9, can't remember exactly, senators that were dismissed because they failed to confirm the Electoral College. So
yeah,
if anyone tries to stand in their way, there's precedent to kick them out at that point too.
yeah, I doubt that.
That's not going to happen.
But but like you said, like it's nothing's gonna. nothing's going to change. So there's not really any reason to worry that like somehow the Electoral College certification will be thrown out and Trump will be certified as the next president. It's That's not going to happen.
No.
We might have some dodos in the streets.
Yeah.
So, just be safe as we did all through 2020. Here we go again.
They are urging counter protesters just to stay home and let them just burn themselves out, essentially. So
Yeah.
just do that. Kind of relating to this is something that dropped today from the Washington Post. I don't know if you heard this.
Oh, I did hear about this, but yeah, go ahead. I didn't read I didn't listen to the whole thing, but yeah, go ahead.
So for those that don't know, a hour-long tape recording between the Georgia governor and our fearless leader has been published by the
Ew.
Washington Post, and it's not good.
Yeah, it's not. I haven't listened to the whole thing, and I haven't done enough research on it to have an opinion, but it sounds like some fishy ass shit.
Yeah,
So go listen to it. Um, what I've heard so far sounds a whole lot like bad things. I'll just say that. I don't want to.
yeah. Basically, the president was trying to coerce the governor to find more votes so he can win the state.
Yeah.
And you do hear the governor pushing back on that, which is good in his case and for his
Yeah.
future. But it shows the kind of the lengths that we're at this point of trying to stay in and stay relevant and find anything to postpone
And
the
who's
inevitable.
honest and who isn't?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, you're gonna try to say that you're the most honest. Oh, okay. Get the fuck out.
It's going to be an interesting few years for sure, because even once this is done and January 20th happens and we have a new president, we're going to hear 4 years of people bitching that it was stolen and that blah blah blah, and then we're going to have 4 years of people interviewing Trump asking if he's going to run again, because that's what the media does. They just try and find a story. So it's going to be, but it's going to be less dangerous. Like, he's going to have a lot less power.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
in
Yeah,
that
he's gonna have
sense.
a whole lot less power. So, yeah, we won't have a fucking megalomaniac at the top in the most powerful
Yeah.
seat in the friggin' Western Hemisphere, if not the world. Like, it's so frustrating. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what's happening this week. We will be in touch next week
Yeah.
with an update on whether or not we are in a civil war.
Yes. We'll be calling from the Goth and Sloth bunker.
Which is just the same as where I am now.
Just make a pillow fort.
Yeah, that's about it.
So I think that brings us to our distractions. What are we doing to distract ourselves with since the worst year in history has ended?
Has it though? I mean,
I mean, there's always going to be spillover.
I'm just saying, like, what if 2020 was the warm up? I don't know. But
It is
anyway,
possible.
okay, yeah, new year, new something. My distraction this week has been TikTok.
Okay.
I've been spending way too much time on that app. It is ridiculous. I finally figured out like what I needed to do to find the accounts that I want to follow, and its algorithm is just like nailing it. I am on this app way too long. Every chance I get, it's a problem. I have had an account for a while now, but I've officially posted videos.
Ooh.
I have a problem, and its name is TikTok.
My band keeps saying, like, we need to get on there because a lot of music stuff kind of gets passed around and done stuff there. And we're all like, but what do we do on there? And we're all, it's just like four old men, like, I don't know.
Yeah, something, I felt the same way. I was like, "Oh, I'm happy to browse on here, but I'm never gonna post. Like, I'm just gonna be like a silent observer of things." And then something happened, I guess once I started following the accounts that I identify more with, that it felt like it wasn't so much of a reach. Like when all I was seeing was like 15-year-olds doing weird dances, I was like, "Okay, I'm never gonna post a video." But now I'm seeing, like, normal people, in my opinion, so I'm like, "Oh, I can do this." So, that was the big hump for me, but yeah, I don't know. I think it takes just seeing something that you can identify with and be like, "Oh, yeah, I can do that." So,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe you'll find
Maybe
it.
yeah, I just do have to explore it more. I really haven't at all. So
Oh my god, good luck. It has absolutely sucked my time, but it's
there you
fun
go.
and I learn a lot. Yeah, all my like things, it's all like cute animals and like hard-hitting facts. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. What are you doing to distract yourself?
Well, I finally finished the original Star Trek series,
Oh my god, it's only taken you
all,
all of
all of
2020.
2020. Um, I will say now officially, I can say Picard is a much better captain than Kirk. Um,
Yeah.
but that's obvious. I
Mhm.
did also start up Star Wars Rebels because I did not watch that, and all the stuff
Oh.
going on in Mandalorian kind of like, yeah, I should check it out. It's only 4 seasons. Give it a shot.
Yeah, that'll only take you another 6 months.
Uh,
No, I watched the Rebels I needed to watch. I didn't watch the whole thing. Maybe one day if I'm strapped to my bed.
yeah, so far the first season's been it's fine, it's fun, but like nothing to sink my teeth into yet. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
it's those series are just a little too fun. They're a little too da da da. We're going on an
Yeah.
adventure. Like, oh my god, this is not Dora the Explorer. Can we please get to Star
Yeah.
Wars?
Which I mean, it's great to get kids into Star Wars, and that's what I think it was meant to do. But yeah, as an
Yeah,
adult trying
whatever.
to watch it, you're like,
And like my selfish adult ass is like, give kids their own show, but don't make it canon so that I have to watch it. Like, you assholes. Like, I don't want this shit to be canon. Go have Dora the Explorer the fuck out of the galaxy over
yeah,
there. And then give me shit like Mandalorian. Thank you. But I obviously am not in the majority here, so.
yeah. Let's see. Outside of that, last night I was incredibly, since I had a 3-day weekend, I was incredibly productive yesterday. So that was fun because when I have a 3-day
Oh,
weekend,
good.
I take one day to do my George Costanza decompression. Um, and then I actually have a day where I'm like, oh, I got stuff and I can do. And I recorded 2 videos. I finished writing a
Wow.
song and I learned a new song on piano.
Cool. Yeah,
So
killing it.
that's been fun. So that's what I've been distracting myself with since I'm completely locked away and separated from the world.
Well, as you should be. There's a pandemic
This
on.
is true. Which brings us to everyone's favorite part of the podcast. Only in a pandemic.
And major civil unrest.
Brought the keyboard back. Stories that can only happen in a pandemic and or political or major civil unrest. Where are you at? What do you got for us?
Only in a pandemic does my kitchen turn into a small feral garden.
All right.
So my little baby garden outside, it's been way overdue for me to bring my plants
Mm-hmm.
in, but I've been like, "Oh, I don't know where I'm gonna put 'em. I don't know. Like, I drag my feet on a lot of things when I'm uncertain. It's called anxiety. Welcome to it. Um, and I so I saw one of my succulents look sad and I was like, "No, baby, please survive." So I brought all these plants into my kitchen and I'm like rotating them until I can get some trays. in the sink so that they can get water and drain. Not that they're not getting a lot of water, but obviously they need to drain for a little bit, and I don't want that to get all over like my carpet or my shelf, and I have paper towels everywhere. I just need to get some trays and some indoor lights and stuff to make them happy. But um yeah, I was like, what the my kitchen looks like a psycho's kitchen right now, but it's fine. Everything's fine here.
Everything's fine.
What's your only a pandemic story this week?
Only in a pandemic am I delightfully enthused that I got a DVD in the mail for a very subpar movie.
What?
So, I think we mentioned it on here before, but I'm one of the 2 people that still get movies delivered from Netflix.
Yeah, and the other person died 5 years ago, but somehow their account
They're
is
still getting them. And, it's due to the Christmas season and COVID and all the crazy stuff, the U.S. Postal Service has been way behind through no fault of their own, but we won't get into it, but the whole thing. But anyways, so I haven't gotten a movie in about 2 weeks, and it's like, I need to watch a movie. And it finally came in, and it was I Am Number 4, which is from when they were making every young adult novel into a movie and trying to make a series. And it was, but I was like, oh yeah, I got it. And I watched it. It's like, I don't know if that was worth the wait, but it did have Timothy Oliphant in it, and that at least makes it pretty to look at.
Well, there's that. That's something. If you have to watch something, at least make your eyes happy.
But yeah, so I was like, God damn it. I had to wait 2 weeks for this, and I'm like, this wasn't worth it at all.
I'm telling you, you gotta just start renting things on the streaming services.
Oh,
Then you can at least rent things that you know you want to watch right then.
Well, that's what I do. Not to get too much into my madness of my brain and how things work, but
It's true. It is a madhouse in there.
but that's what my Netflix list is for stuff that I'm like, yeah, that's probably not great, but I'm semi interested, and so it just sits on this massive pile that sort of filters in, and it's all doesn't really cost me any extra because I'm already paying for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why it is.
Yeah, justify your problem. That's okay.
So let's go ahead and wrap this up. A little bit of a short one this week, but that's okay. Getting over into the new year here. But so let's wrap it up with our hermit level of the week on the Leonardo DiCaprio scale. A 10 being, let's go with The Revenant. And you're out in the woods screaming at bears all by yourself, and you haven't seen people in days. And a 1 being Django, since I just watched that again, and you're having house parties in your fancy southern plantation.
Oh, Lord. Well, I'm certainly not doing that. I have a thing against plantations. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not just kidding.
No, you
I
do
have
have
a thing
yes.
against plantations. But let's see. I would say that I would be a 9. And the only reason I took the 0.5 off is because I have been leaving the house twice a week to go work out at the aerial studio. So that's socializing. But other than that, not a soul except for my partner who isn't here anymore. So now it really is just me and the cat. Yeah, solid, like running in the forest, like with a bear, but not like hanging out with the bear. Like the bear's over there. What about you? What's your score?
I'm
this
actually
week?
probably beat you because I'd say probably a 9.5, edging right up there.
Wow.
I actually haven't physically left the house except for 20 minutes yesterday when I had to walk to a FedEx drop box to drop off paperwork for my insurance.
I kind of feel like that's a 10, Matt.
It might
If
be.
you haven't left the house at all except for a 20-minute excursion, That's pretty fucking close to a 10.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I was like, I didn't want to rent a car this time because it cost me money and didn't use it all that much. But you start realizing, like, I used to at least go get food on the weekends,
Yeah.
but now
Did
that's
you
delivered.
did you have to talk to a human to get those things signed?
I did not.
I don't know.
Right? Yeah, like it wasn't even a social excursion. It was just me walking down the street, going to a mailbox, essentially.
Yeah, Matt, I'm gonna put you solidly in the 10 section. Like, yes, you left your house, but you didn't talk to anyone.
I did have a video call with my dad trying to come up with a plan for car shopping.
Okay.
We'll,
All
we'll,
right.
we'll give that the 0.5.
All right.
Because it was
All
an
right.
actual video call.
Yeah, you did socialize with a human. All right. Well, I'll give it to you.
But I think that'll do it for us this week. Where can people find us if they want to chit chat?
So now you can find me on TikTok.
Ah.
And Instagram and Twitter, all at the same handle, LUNA_MINUIT. And you can find us, the podcast, at Goth and Sloth on Twitter and Instagram. And you can email at us at gothandsloth@gmail.com. And where are all the things that people can find you at,
All
Matt?
my things. I'm on Twitter at wizard_Matt, and my Instagram is wizard cosplay. My band is Leonardo. We're Leonardo Band on SoundCloud and Facebook. My YouTube channel is Matt the Pharaoh Wizard, where I'm going to upload a video pretty soon with my predictions for the next 5 DC movies coming out. And then my music is Matthew James Music 2020 on SoundCloud.
But now it's 2021.
I know. Now it's retro.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another episode, and Happy New Year, and please continue to wash your hands.
And wear your mask.